I don't think he's going to look to try and challenge in front of this. Maybe just spam a few shots through and hope to find a kill. Instead, he is met by Camo immediately in the dirt. And that puts the B site firmly in the control of the attackers.
Yeah, that's it. A player down on a spike plant to be acquired. Cam spotting the flank coming up as well. Looks like Nats wants to get ahead of this problem with 3 players coming around. It's a big swing straight into heavy traffic, and he is left flattened. 4 versus 4. Looks like Movistar Koi may have a chance. It's going to take a while. That utility to come into play, guided salvo clearing some of the back boxes. Camo's still safe, tucked in the corner. They haven't managed to root any of these players out of position, and the first one is a 1-to-1 trade, running that clock down ever further as Kiko comes up behind for the double. That puts this round to bed.
Wingman being the one to plant. The risk really wasn't there for Liquid. Through goes Camo,
Whoops.
but quite a few missed shots. In fact, a couple of players already dropped. This was a really small investment. If anything, it was only utility purchased into this round for Movistar Koi. Filu and Shados. Kamek is going to go down, and it's left all onto Panitek, the superstar sub in his previous team, but he'll only get one this time. Nation time. They'll be back in what, like 45 seconds. That control's not held on to for long, though. An immediate trade for Kamek, leaving them in a 4 versus 4 scenario, but... gonna say...
yeah, breaking this is gonna give them an angle.
But...
You will not kill my ally.
well, never mind. I mean, it's not gonna matter too much. It's just a little bit frustrating for Camo. His KD is going down the toilet from early fights, but if they're gonna win the round, they're gonna win the round.
Yeah, you could look at it as a wasted ult, but it did still trade out the position of that player, and, well, I think that's worthwhile. If the ability did that as default. Flya 1v4 as a result. Not an easy scenario to make work. Question of damage perhaps comes into play. Nice shot onto Nats. Still winnable if Team Liquid give him the opportunities, but you have to think that won't happen. And with the op picked up, a heavy piece of machinery, he wants to save it. He won't get the chance. Patatek waiting up top. On the back of Nats if there is a push to come through, and they're hoping that op gets a chance to take someone down. Unfortunately, it's Movistar Koi to draw first blood.
Soulcast, it's a
30 seconds left.
mixed bag. Only got himself a Spectre. Nats is looking for the entry on his own. He's just going to go swinging up. Still managing to just hold. This is a peculiar way to see the battle. And what Soulcast actually does incredibly well with that Spectre. 2 kills to keep things even. Looking like the Armageddon about to come in to try and deny the players from planting with only 10 seconds on the clock. They need to get back onto that site, and it's going to take a little while to do so. Left all onto Filu, but he cannot land the shot.
Kiko in the post plant, but they need a main control. That might not be so easy. The door just opened. I'm not sure. I don't think that was intentional. Orbital strike goes down. They're forced into the open, forced into the fight, and Grabinho claims both scalps. It's Patatek and Kamek on site. A res available, but where will they find the body to do so? Instead, they must stand their ground. Their guns drawn, but there to follow up on the back of it. Gecko's ult used, and it's Shados coming out of that situation with the dub, forcing another res, another ult rather. The res coming in as Nats goes up to trade
violence. We can't have that.
5 versus 4 as a result. And look, great damage has been done. Movistar Koi at least in with a chance in most of these 1v1 fights. But it's Team Liquid, the ability to go back if they want to, but still running heavy into these forces and taking losses, but trading it out.
Robinho's found a gap. Flyer also having his ult, but they will be able to survive at the back of it. Kamek also hoping that maybe they make a move a little bit too early. Filu, though, has taken the space instead, taken the initiative.
Ever wise. Oh, to the space that's in play. Grabinho, he's trying to escape, and he takes one with him.
That's okay.
Shados using the cover of the ult to pick off Kamek, who had dropped his teammate just a moment ago. That is the advantage for Movistar Koi. Armageddon still online for Shados as well. For Team Liquid, they are going to be scrambling to find a resolution and a way into the site. So far, post plans are where they found some trouble. This time, even getting in should be an issue.
Yeah, well, their A-main / sand takes have been a failure every single time. They've walked into Shados, and at worst, he's found a trade, but in most cases, he's come out advantageous. Again, they have to walk through what is a Killjoy Vice setup just to try and get onto the site, and they've already been isolated. Luckily for them, Nats is fairly used to playing alone. We'll see if he can do any damage here, while the others just wait for the IGL to take control. He's got nothing. His ex-teammate putting him in the dirt, and now the others are just almost having to wait. The spike on the deck, it is clean. They're in the vines. Now they can't move. If they do, they take damage.
Big push again, same play coming out of Movistar Koi. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Going straight for the B main aggression, dropping the spike already. Sure, one more player's caught, but the trade is so quick. And Movistar Koi now set their defense up on just north side. All they have to do is hold the spawn. And they're in a strong position. Ultimate used by Filu as well, just to connect the dots on where these players are, and that's both of them spotted. All the info for both teams granted. With the numbers in play for Movistar Koi, the ult online for Solkis. Patatek puts out the Rolling Thunder to no effect. Far back, just waiting is the firing squad, but they've been dealt the damage.
And I think they know roughly where Filu was after the ultimate, so he's going to be on the wrong side of the map to try and fight this one. Been looking pretty decent so far in terms of his debut within the VCT, but on the other side, two day one veterans. Well, in terms of
Spike planted.
the utility available, it's only really in Patatek's hands. Everything else is offline.
Patatek saw that that gate crash was a fake as well. So they still don't have the information on where Filu is, but they won't be confused after hearing that step. There it is. 1 HP in the open. Sent them the other way, and into the trap they go. Flya able to destroy it, but he will not escape with his life. The slow orb in play, keeping him there long enough for Nats to spam back alongside Kamek. The B side has been held, but now the A side has a bit of a challenge brewing. Movistar Koi fully setting their sights on it, and the question is, does Patatek swing for this? Is he looking for the fight, or simply spotting the information and waiting for the rest of the team to rotate in? A couple of small, sneaky spots by Movistar Koi already, representing a couple of kills with Filu up top. The first domino fell, and the rest have toppled right after. Nats, the last man standing, 1v3 now after his pick. Will be an ace in the pistol round. And a hell of a course correction.
The only thing is that the spike currently hasn't crossed, but I don't know if he's going to catch it. It will all come down to timing. I'm kind of hopeful that Grabinho will swing alongside this, so they'll all look to do it together. Instead, they're going to send out the flash, which will allow the cross. That was the only goal. But each player now tagged, including Nats himself, but you feel like he's the dangerous one in this scenario. 4 bullets left for him to try and find this clutch, otherwise he's going to have to reload midway through, and he's going to get one on the cross. A nice
blocking the main avenues you're going to be contesting from. Patatek was already ahead of it down below. Camo ready for one, but that's all that there is to be found. A close shot by Patty, but it flies past ahead nonetheless. Still the advantage, the spike now on the floor, and Movistar Koi need to find a pick elsewhere. Flya, this is not going to be an easy fight. Having to open the doors himself, step in, and quickly adjust to where this player is. He's seen two. And Patatek's the first to fall. A clean headshot delivered. Numbers equalized, but the fight doesn't go so well on the other side.
Yeah, unfortunately, the other two just don't have the weaponry. Fly's doing more damage, but the time's really against him. 15 seconds at this stage. He has to go. Rifle retrieved as he will sprint onto the remaining couple of players, looking for those fights, but in the corner, Kamek is waiting. The rest of the team, well, you're seeing those lurks across either side. Flyer's been caught. Hopefully not the start that Movistar were looking for. And now Filu is going to go looking to try and find out the setup. But you can see, for Liquid at this stage, you don't really need to hold on to the site. You have the man advantage already. They also have the spike, don't they? Drop down underneath.
It could be retrievable. I thought Filu might try to run down there with the ult and grab it back. Instead, they're going to have to just go swinging, look to take Nats down. It's a decoy, and he's realized it. Now looking for the real fight. Guided salvo doesn't put him out into the open, but he swings in alongside Kamek, and both lose their head. 15 seconds, though. There is no time to dawdle. They have to run straight into this side. Kiko already ahead of them. 10 seconds on the clock. That spike needs to be planted here and now. Thrash already underway, and that buys Kiko a little bit of time to take him down.
For them on the take, that by the time they actually go to move, the entirety of Liquid is here and ready. Even still, though, Grabinho gets the opener.
The Armageddon was used to clear sight, but off-site placement from Team Liquid gives them a ton of value for that, avoiding the ultimate early on, able to fire from the side as they walk in, but Movistar Koi still come ahead in those duels, trading out even as it goes deeper with Filu on another, looking to finish the round there, and then it is Patatek all alone, up against 3 with the spike planted, with a lockdown in play for Flya with no information and no chance. Yeah. Well, primed for an early fight is Camo. Flash goes out, and so does Filu. Out of the round. Down goes Shados. It's been a big push from both sides. Yeah. Team Liquid, well, he said this. They tried it last round. It didn't quite work out. This time they run into a lot of bodies. Res is there available for them to use on the Nats as well. This comp working out well in that regard. Wall blocking off another avenue of approach, and the spike is down. They've got it, and they're just defending it, sitting as a group, a 5-man squad on north side. 2 angles that they can be approached from. An easy trap to jump over. Good luck with the wall.
You might just be able to wait it out. I feel like it's been there a little while at this stage. There's still plenty of time on the clock, but obviously the second it goes, a player will immediately be watching in that direction. I think the only way that this goes wrong for Liquid is if someone gets a little bit overzealous, or if they use the lockdown, but I would say that that's madness if they're going to try and put that into position. Surprisingly, there are players on the other side. Yeah, the guys are here. They are still here. That wall has now gone, but immediately you can see the Nats is already watching. Camo holding the angle as well. They're going to try and face off, in fact, against Soulcast. And now, Grabinho, oh, fair enough. He's just going to take himself an orb, maybe even opt to hold on. I even saw him rock a chamber in the past, but he's been nasty with it so far. Getting out of there is not possible, though. So quick on the response from Filu. And unfortunately, this is what I'm talking about. When you have Nats on a site, a lot of the time that means there's no one else on that site.
Flya. Here comes the cavalry. 1 shot, 2 shots, 3 shots!
Okay.
All I hear is gunshots. Beautiful. And his opponent's drop. Team Liquid not lasting.
I want to keep an eye on where Soulcast stands, because he can take away all of their guns as they attempt to retake.
Well, this is where the fun stops for Team Liquid. Already lost Nats in the way back through. Spike planted. Ults online. Orbital strike for post plant. Steel Garden put into effect early. Might even stop
and no guns.
Them from needing that orbital strike. And Team Liquid, they look in the other direction. They say, let's get the hell out of here. Carrying 3 weapons at least, but look at Kiko. He's stuck. He's in a corner with no way out, and he will be dropped as he attempts to flee this site.
They've got what it takes to close it, because even yesterday, that was a struggle at times.
Yeah, listen, 3 rounds in a row. It's achievable for Team Liquid. They have to start this off well. Early gate crash used. Filu's caught. Flya, Grabinho, everybody's falling. A quick response. It doesn't know that Kamek's up top. He used his wall to get up there, but they suspected it. Fair play. That has given the man advantage to Movistar Koi and put a lot of pressure on someone like Nats, who sat deep on the site.
You might not check it when you're up against the Sage, but you're probably used to checking it from when you're up against the Jet. Flya, it's going to be in a 1-for-1 trade, but that keeps the advantage with Movistar Koi for now. Ultimate's not online. Kiko definitely the closest, and in fact now he has managed to get that orbital strike. A chance to clear out the top side of the map, and that's exactly what he's done. Just making sure there's no one in the tower, but players had already moved.
That's it with Kiko going down. It's now essentially a triple crossfire. They can swing out together and take every single angle, and that's what they do. 36 HP on Filu, but he makes it work. The recon goes down from Team Liquid. They attempt to destroy the closer traps and now move to the site, but the flash pops just in time. We saw it set up by Flya earlier, and the execution was perfect with Soulcast on the double. The advantage firmly in the hands of Movistar Koi.
Yeah, I was interested to see that it's not the other way around and you have Soulcast playing that initiator and Flya on the Sentinel, but I guess it is just for that reason. Set up that guy who was pretty much known for that first bullet accuracy back on Liquid, with the opportunity to
30
try
seconds
and find
left.
space. See though, Nats has managed to take some control in the last pistol round. Even though they lost, he managed to get himself 3 kills. A couple here could pretty easily turn the tide. For now though, it's a full retake for Movistar Koi.
Yeah, but they've been patient, you know, so far. At least one player steps out, head ripped off immediately. Another, one by one, they walk into this. The trade a little late, but it comes in eventually, leaving it down to Grabinho, though, and the close fight from Patatek, not quite expected. He's stuck that left laneway. If he does, Sulkas more than ready for the fight. He's just been staring in that direction for the last minute.
Oh, it doesn't matter though. Just that's things. A wallbang shot with the Outlaw. Grabinho trying to make a play goes down as well. That's not gone well, but Filu's still there. That operator has been deadly so far, but bear in mind, Nats is basically using an operator of his own when facing up against anybody other than Shados.
Yeah, the only one with 150 HP is that Sova. By the looks of it, well, actually, I was going to say he's the one with the fight, but Nats is playing very passive, hiding back, letting the camera spot them on the cross. Perhaps there'll be a reaction. On side, I see Patatek doesn't have any flashes left, so if they do peek, it's likely to be just that dry swing, and there it is, catching them off guard. Shados and Flya both falling, and it's Filu's up with no shields. Again, put out the exact same time as they come online after barriers up. Camo. Oh, he's not going to land the shot. We're back to a 4v4.
He's definitely had a bit of a shaky start in map 1. Understandable. Maybe a bit out of his comfort zone, but these are shots that last season, playing for Koi, you were expecting him to hit. Still, into the post plant they go. Ultimate available for Paddy, and that's going to make things a bit tougher. He already hit them all with his knife earlier on. Kiko might get caught out looking down, but he's going to take one with him at least. Buy some more time for the rest of the team in the post plant. I think that's the fragment going onto the spike, and then 2 shots hit in tandem. It's left onto Soulcast, but again, players there though. It's still an extra gambled spot. Close positions cleared, but the time is now low, and it's not gone well for Filu. He's been taken out by the shorty. A trade is only going to be the one, and Kiko is clearing things up as the Hunter's Fury makes things that bit more awkward for the players on the site. A post plant that, again, you just can't challenge. A 2. Anybody that you didn't die? Cool. Okay, we're now coming in 2. And once again, Camo's done his job, and they're just waiting. The second it seems like those smokes fade, they are honed in on the angle, ready for the fight. And in fact, Camo is taking a completely different stance. It's going through the cage. That one might be a little bit much. But again, the rest of the team sat back waiting for the post. It's only going to be the trade out as Patatek falls. But still, they have a fairly hefty advantage. Where are they going? Okay, I think they're getting a little too cocky.
This guy's crazy. I mean, sat inside the smoke with the shorty after, fine. Both players low that are pushing, and both will fall. A chance now as the defuse is being tapped inside of that cage, halfway already. Solka steps out, looks for the fight, finds it on the first. Smoke about to fade. That shot could have put the
rather than face up against him with the supportive utility. They are pushing the spawn.
Yeah, well, they've taken a leaf out of Camo's book, going right up into their opponent's faces. 4v4, as a result, Hunter's Fury got a good idea where their targets are, and that's spot on. Nats out of the round. Trap's now gone. Flank up by Flya. Great position as well. At least one going to be gifted to him. And a chance for more. The pressure on for Kiko. Surrounded. No safe space for him to take, and he ends up TPing behind them. Grabinho falls in the meantime, and that means position unknown. Free kill on Shados, and the shot from Camo to
just running it down.
Oh my. Couple of connections, it puts them on the board, perhaps. It could be the round. The responses are so quick, though, from Team Liquid. Again, down to a 3v3 with Filu tagged so low, and you know they're looking to get aggressive. The op lands a shot with Kiko down on 1 HP. Filu barely avoiding that nade up top. Finally lands the death blow. Flash is good. Players on either side, but it doesn't matter. Both will fall. Damage done. Could put Grabinho in a spot to do some damage. He's isolated a 1v1. And the shots landed. That's the spike down. Where was Patatek with 20 HP? He steps back into the angle, but finally, there's a Movies. Liquid, not quite the flawless half, but I think we can forgive it. Paranoia used Grabinho, still with a good chance if they do push up that avenue. And he sprayed through the smoke by Kiko. Well, that's just nasty. Thought he was making a good play, but evidently not, as it seems that Team Liquid cannot put a foot wrong. Everything landing yet again. And, well, except for that, nice shot by Filu, but he's got to do it all. An ace.
Four more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's about right. Well,
Be the second round loss that we've seen so far. Don't hold your breath.
good flash. Just left them blind, but still, again, Kiko is there to land the shot, keeps things even as Filu is able to trade. As said, he's been the one sort of glimmer of hope for them thus far, but the trade's coming back thick and fast. It's left just onto Kiko, but he has been a hero throughout this game.
4 bullets.
Even realizing exactly where Soulcast stands. The ex-Liquid man versus the current. As he tries to bait him into that peak, but it's going to be easier said than done, and Soulcast is playing this one to perfection, just buying that time on the clock, and that shot just cannot be connected. It will be all too easy. Now knowing that at least your controller is on this side of the map. Nats will start things off well. That's Filu down. The space being taken, but it's all a ruse. A ruse to get them a plant. The problem is, normally you'd want at least an even trade with the fake. The fact that you're 2 players down makes this a tough post plant to play, and one that you almost have to get aggressive. And you can already see the positioning of Camo is not one of, oh, I'm just going to run in and try and take this alone. He is waiting to see where that aggression is coming from and waiting for his team.
Well, that's it. You can't afford, because of the numbers, to send someone to flank them to cut off those rotations. Instead, they try to fight forward, claim free space. That's denied. And a lot of info now. They've seen them all. Flash goes up as space is taken on the side. Team Liquid flooding in. Camo with the double, and Kamek following. Prepared on a big push from the attackers, having taken control of Heaven. Spot by Kiko, though, left unchecked for a little too long. Able to capitalize the kill. Fight in mid. Definitely not expecting Soulcast to be embedded in that position, but the numbers are thinning and left down to just this man. 1v4, Spike down on B. Not a snowball's chance in hell.
Yeah, they're going to double peek it as well. Not a chance for Soulcast in that one after what was a troublesome first map of Fracture, of worrying. There are other positions that work lamps as well, I think.
Where good teams get all their strats. Big play, crunch through the TP, but it has not worked out for Team Liquid. And Patatek, he's got a safe spot.
He'll survive.
He's good. Most of his HP intact. In they come, and he's safe as can be. All right, well, still gonna be difficult to get value out of this position. He has still got 2 flashes, but his teammates are the ones trying to work the map to make this possible. And Nats coming up behind someone. You wouldn't guess it, it's Soulcast to win the fight. He's outdone Nats in the flank game. Patatek caught reloading, will be dropped. Kiko, though, comes in to try and close this out. Everybody's low. 1 bullet needed for everyone, including Soulcast. 10 HP. And a rough idea of where he's coming from, but Soulcast may have already went to the A site. Kiko has to have eyes in the back of his head as around the corner comes Soulcast. Saved at the final.
Potential to clear any close positions. That's exactly what he's done, but instead, Panitek goes peeking. It's only going to be the trade. In fact, Flyer has doubled up. He's made things that little bit more awkward, and they're now looking to switch positions. The problem, though, is that the majority are actually within this A site. One of them, in fact, both of them are going to be revealed. And now you question, okay, do they slow it down again? No. They want to fight into this, leaving Camo as the last man standing, and he's done very well. It looked a little bit labored of Leon, but instead he takes. It's 25 seconds away from having it back online. They could still even wait to have it back for the take. It really does feel like it comes back just a little bit too quickly for my liking, but I have to see. Yeah, already. We're down to just 10 seconds. There'll still be 40 on the clock. And now he's just going to use that drone. If he can pop it quick enough, maybe he can reveal some players. Instead, though, it's actually Filu going down through the smoke.
That's unfortunate. And the value that Shados had, you get up B long later on in the round, you get into B site, you have stealth drone to go through and clear close corners, getting a lot of utility straight into the hands of Shados, but he's given up the angle, given up the space for a moment. He will be the dagger in the back a little bit later on. As Flya falls, though, they're losing a lot of the control, a lot of the ability to deny this spike plant. Nade buys some time, but flank is perfect from Kiko. He'll land one, even getting onto Shados quite quickly, but still, that spike needs to be defused with 2 players sitting around and a star available at Grabwell just coming up online. Should be able to cancel. It's not quite going to stop it before half, though. They're trying to body block onto the spike. The time running low. Grabinho desperately trying to get here in time, but he won't be able to affect the outcome.
They almost kind of have to clear it again, because I don't know if anybody's walked into that position.
No command goes in. Mosh just before it buys a little bit of time. As Filu goes down, in go the rest of Movistar Koi, trying to take control of Hookah to help out on that site fight, but there is nothing to be.
Must have to rely on maybe a mistake or a successful piece of utility to give you an advantage here. And well, already straight in goes the Thrash. And it's going to be Kiko lands a shot before it even goes through.
30 seconds left.
Every time they try something, just hit by this force, not just from the players and the bullets exiting their gun, but it's also the fact that you just have this consistent assault of utility on every position that they show face in. There's no safe haven, except for their own spawn, where
There's nobody there. It's clear, they know it, but they're playing in front of it, and I almost think that might just be a plan from the side of Liquid to put themselves in unorthodox positions, ones that you've got to gamble with. Speaking of gamble, it looks like Hammer's going to try and sneak out, but they're aware of it. Had support from Kamek, and even the flash going through, but Shados is still standing. And now it comes down to him versus Panatek on the other side. A new look initiator versus a tried and true of the past, a man of experience facing off against, well, another man of experience. But this round is so important for Movistar Koi. Shados looking to try and put it on his back. He even gets the timing correct, but doesn't swing off of it. Goes back around! And in classic form, in execute to get them into the post plant. Even sending the drone through to try and get as much information. They know that the players are there on the other side, and in fact, even waiting to try and catch them off the back of that TP.
Nats is in the pit. Nats is in the pit. And he's been caught. Okay. I just expected him to come out on top in that, but Solkis is on a tear. Double kill already on the site. You've got to fight through that pit to win the round. It's time to think about saving. And as Kamek falls, there's no other choice for Kiko. Can he get out? Drop one as he goes? Looks like he certainly made himself the distance. It's his choice to stick around. There's plenty of credit still to burn up. He just wants to make it as costly as he can. Maybe catch them all on the way out. There's one, there's two. Nicely done. And indeed, cost
aggressive take, both initiators fighting. They've got to be careful here, and actually, they've lost both fights. Immediate double entry. This leaves Kiko alone within the B site. Camo is running as fast as he can, but he can't get into support with the ultimate currently blocking. In fact, he tries. He tries to go through it. It gets wrecked for it. Luckily, you still got Kiko there, who's been an absolute superstar, trying to do everything on his own, even spotting out the remaining couple, but they're going to peek it before his ult could go through. Nats is there with one more. And that res is not going to be coming. It's down to the 1v1. This time, Nats with a better chance. Spike down, knowing roughly where his opponent should be, and still trying to reposition.
Nats is crazy. He's going to go all the way around the world on this play, knowing the spike is in the open. Chances are there for Grabinho to do the same, to come to meet him. That's what Nats is waiting for. And he goes back into Hookah, and around to watch this spike, confident now that the flank's not in play. Grabinho will sneak out though, will grab the spike. 25 seconds left. No notion of where this player is. Oh, and blindsided, but barely alive. The metal in the way. A little bit of armor that he needed. 12 seconds. Nats waiting for the plant to be attempted. Waiting for the push up close, but Grabinho will just plant on backside as safe as he can. 30 HP is not a lot to work with. The fake smoke. Maybe he could be going back into the spawn. Nats has to split his direction both ways. 6 bullets left. But with such low HP, it might not matter. It depends on the timing, and it's good. Oh, there's players on both sides. They've got the manpower to deal with it as well. If you were just one here, you'd be a little overwhelmed. The flank coming in late from Grabinho. It is a very weird pace to the round. I think Nats will be blindsided by that and just taken down. With the control still over Bath, a good spot if they could get past Kamek. Huge shutdown, deleting the Bath players, and sure, Nats will fall, but now time is the issue. They don't know where these players are. No utility left, though. It has to be just the dry peaks, and Kiko wins it. Now, surely the timer gone too far with no chance for Grabinho. It seems Team Liquid have done enough to take the lead back. 20, but picking up the Outlaw in so many of these rounds, it's different, and it works. It has worked before. Let's see if it does this time with all those extra shields in play. Although it doesn't help Flya much, Grabinho falls quite quickly. Now we're in a bit of danger with players all over the site. Shados didn't know where to look. He's lost his life. The spike's planted. Rifles now retrieved as the upgrades come in. And for Movistar Koi, man disadvantage. And next to nothing to play with. A decent spam does damage to Nats. Kiko is low and quickly dispatched. Filu comes to save the day. Kamek now has to do it all. Won't get his ult online without both kills, at which point, round's already in the bag. It's been close so far. And a 1v2 definitely within this player's wheelhouse. They've just heard him step down. They know where he is. Moving in together. Off angle by Kamek, and the spray doesn't land. It's Filu. Lots of players, everyone, in fact, one hit to him. He's got a two-barrel operator, essentially, in play. A chance onto Solkas to start it out. Not even the wall was enough to protect him. The shot on Shados is perfect. And after a close previous round, this one doesn't seem to have the same flavor to it. Movistar Koi have sent Filu in the other direction. You're right, Tom. The round's done. They've called for the save.
A good use of the grab wall to make sure they can't get too much information. Orbital strike thrown in, but even still, the opening kill has gone the way of the defenders. That's messy.
What?
I feel like Grabinho definitely should have got the kill onto Nats there, but he hasn't. Failed miserably, and now they get into the post plant. Showstopper, no command available. They had everything to play with, even denying some of the heals that would have gone in onto Nats.
Showstopper on Filu. This could be everything, but the players perfectly avoiding and walking into Solkas and taking him down. Team Liquid immediately on that diffuse tap swing, all their forces through and leave it down to just one. Filu.
10-7, 3 away from. This was a match where. I was going to say there's definitely been opportunities. That from Flyer was impressive. In fact, it's going to continue. Kamek goes walking back into the same fight, alone with the spike. Well, now for the remaining two, this is troublesome.
Well, Nats is coming back with the Outlaw, and everyone's one hit to him. Still a chance, still a beating heart to this round for the side of Team Liquid, and Movistar Koi can't allow him the opportunities. But after one kill, he's left alone. An ace needed. Blocked out by that utility. Pistols coming close, 40 HP indeed. So although he has with him a weapon that can one-shot them, those Sheriffs will be keen to do just the same in return. 6 shots instead of 2. Let's see if Nats can make this one work, and what would be by far my favorite Outlaw, Clutch, Outlaw, Ace, or any of the above.
30 seconds
30
left.
seconds on the clock, and a swing into heavy traffic backwards is going to send him. The one-to-one trade, losing your Viper, might not be what Movistar Koi would find ideal. A push up, and it's perfectly timed. That was Camo popping the ultimate, the showstopper to entry. Denied, but the flank from Kiko. The second man, not expected. Not locking down the control for too long as it's kept into a 2v2. Viper's pick goes up just in time to block Patatek. He'll creep up close now towards this spawn as Shados needs to fight his way back through. They know he's here and they are just waiting, beckoning him forward. He spams so much that finally he walks in and meets his doom. It's left to Grabinho. The dog on its way already spotting him. He can actually tap this from just outside, I believe. Reposition is perfect, but they're looking the right. In comes the spike, looking to be planted on site. Lots of backup to cover it. Nade doesn't quite land. In fact, it's a little precarious of a position for Flyu, who goes down, but Shados with a masterful trade. He's kept this one alive for the side of Movistar Koi. Despite a couple of quick kills back in return, you've still got Filu, and Grabinho. And with the spike down, time is ticking. Grabinho will reposition, blocking off their rotation, their likely rotation to the teleporter. In fact, both are walking back. They have absolutely no idea this man's here, but he only gets the one, leaving Patatek on 33 HP. Faked that he was running to the teleporter, but that sound is not heard.
Yeah.
Filu knows that he's still here. There's no notion in his head about rotating. Nade's still online, 20 seconds left, and Patatek is just waiting for Filu to step forward, but Filu doesn't have any pressure on him. The clock is ticking, and it's against Patatek. 12 seconds as he takes that teleporter. Filu goes as fast as he can. I don't think he had a blast pack left. He'll get here a little bit too late to deny by the looks of things. The nade will be fired out. It bounces back. It's going to do damage, but not quite enough. The shot lands, though. And Movistar Koi there, they know that for a fact, and I thought that might have seen rotations come through, but no. Playing outside of Lamps to avoid that ultimate. Filu goes through for just the one. Grabinho has to step out, but the smokes are there to give him the cover.
Spike planted.
A Liquid the post plant. It's for the most part what they desired. keeping things even. I'm looking at Cosmic Divide as potential. Padatek. Oh, he's dead. Can't quite clear the fragment. And if he had, we'd be looking at Flyer as a mistake. Instead, he gets himself a second with the Stinger, a third one as well. He's brought that one over from North America. We spoke about it before, the Stinger in the hands of Narrate last year and for Kamek. There's nothing he can do here. Just has to try and fall off of it. I don't know how he's managed that.
Brought to bear. The Sheriffs will look to take some heads while the Rifles look to clean up. For Movistar Koi, this is their chance to equalize.
Kiko, though, again, this time taking up the role of the duelist. He's been given a rifle for a reason. He only had the opportunity for a couple of them, but this man's hands had to be holding one. He's been so strong. And looks to do more. Kamek will fall. A trade back of sorts and still an abundance of utility for Shados to try and clear this site. There are so many players up close that his util could be everything.
Oh, they've cleared out these players, spammed Padatek as he moved out of position of the guided salvo, but unfortunately, they haven't found the kill, and as a result, Padatek's there to take the hit off the showstopper. The follow-up from Kiko with all five. I like this. The smoke up close, 3 players creeping in from Movistar Koi, but it's expected, and Camo delivers 2 blind fire and almost takes Filu with him.
This is not what you wanted to see if you're a Movistar Koi fan. They have fought valiantly throughout this series, proven that they can go toe-to-toe with Liquid. Maybe answered some of the questions you had about individual players on this team, but if it sends you to the lower bracket, it sends you to the lower bracket. The manner in which it happens doesn't matter too much. They would be 1 defeat away from dropping out of Kickoff with 5 players. Filu low, he's proven he can still hit shots, but not in this one. It's now left onto the IGL, maybe hoping he can get something before they retreat. Solcas with everything to do versus his former team.
Nice snake bite. They're going to be vulnerable, dropping down into it. It's a mistake. They've fallen into his trap, and that gives a chance. Flya, he did it with a Stinger, now with a rifle in hand, and quickly repositioning as well. They might not expect him to be all the way around. The Molly blocks that pathway, but are they suspicious of the wraparound? Yes, they are. It's Kiko holding it, swinging in to